Everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David. I've been searching the interzones for some more science, space and tech news to share with you. And I came across this over at rt.com. This should be entertaining. Yes, the EU mulls expanding digital surveillance over every citizen. Really? Brussels reportedly wants to access backdoors into anything from messaging apps to online home assistance. Really? Fascinating. I don't want people... This is one of the reasons I moved to Linux. There's one more reason. The EU Commission is allegedly considering a major expansion of surveillance practices in the bloc that could potentially affect every single EU citizen. German online news media outlet reported on Tuesday, citing confidential draft accommodations it had seen. Yeah, this is not good. And I'm glad, I bet Britain's glad they're out of the EU. A 28-page document reportedly drawn up by a group of experts on behalf of Brussels lists a total of 42 suggestions of possible tighter surveillance measures in what the media outlet described as unprecedented privacy limitation. So whatever you use on whatever device you have, be it a laptop, be it a tablet, be it a desktop, be it a mobile phone, you will be surveilled if you're in the EU. Yes, allegedly, apparently. The paper titled Recommendations from the High-Level Group on Access to Data for Effective Law Enforcement demands app developers create backdoors for the law enforcement agencies to get any content they need. Yes, now you know why they're going after Elon Musk so hard, because he's told them to basically bugger off when it comes to X. Because in the previous incarnation of Twitter, they had the governments all over the world had access to Twitter via backdoors. And Elon has basically given them a digital middle finger. And this is why he's not very popular here in Australia, because he's told them to go and bog off. And now you know why YouTube and Instagram and Facebook are still popular with governments around the world, but they're putting pressure on Elon Musk because they lost a major platform. This is why people are moving over to rumble.com to get their video streaming. They're moving over to Odyssey, and they're moving over to BitChute. Links below this video here. Yeah, you can watch this same content over there. There's a lot of great content on Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute. Just gives you another way of accessing that information and different information that you won't find anywhere else. It's fascinating. The investigators should be able to circumvent end-to-end encryption in messenger services like WhatsApp or Telegram using some sort of general key provided by developers, T-Online reported. Companies that would fail to meet such demands should face penalties, the document reportedly states. The list of suggestions is not limited to messaging apps, though. The proposed changes also target the Internet of Things, calling for greater standardization of various home apps and devices, including all forms of connectivity. The measure is expected to particularly affect home assistants like Google Home, Alexa, or the Apple Assistant, as well as anything up to smart refrigerators, allowing authorities to obtain data collected by such devices. Yes, it's interesting when you talk about having a smart refrigerator, right? And that data made in China goes back to the Chinese Communist Party. No, it doesn't, says China. No, these are private companies. But you guarantee if the Chinese government went, give us that data from David's refrigerator in Australia, the company would have to comply. Well, we know what would happen, allegedly. This is why in Tasmania, the Parliament of Australia, the Tasmanian state of Australia, their security cameras, they had to pull them right out because they were made in China and they were worried that information was being sent back to the CCP, in an Australian state. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. and trying to went, oh, no, they're just, these cameras, no, they aren't connected to the interzones, they're not connected anywhere, not connected up. I bet you they take a memory card, and when regular maintenance is done on it, that memory card is replaced. Interesting. The same thing happened in the UK. Panicking, running around like crazy, pulling out Chinese-made bloody security cameras. And I'll leave the link to the main article below the video so you can pop in and check out little things like this. EU could regulate Telegram, according to Bloomberg. And that's just in the middle of the screen there. Very interesting read, that one, I can tell you that. The paper also calls for the introduction of data retention, according to T-Online. A data retention regulation requires providers of telecommunications and internet services to store the traffic data of on all its users for a specific period of time and be able to pass them on to law enforcement if needed. Such data could include IP addresses, phone contacts, or location data. Yes, does this sound very much like Microsoft's Copilot Plus? Yes, I just did a video on it. When Copilot comes out, it will make snapshots of your screen every couple of minutes and save it to your hard drive. Oh no, it's only for you to use, says Microsoft. I smell bullshit. Yeah, seriously, it's complete and utter rubbish, right? This is why I moved over to Linux. Your privacy has been completely and utterly gone. Unbelievable. Germany's Federal Administrative Court, the nation's highest judicial body ruling on administrative law cases, had previously classified groundless and indiscriminate data retention to be a violation of EU law and banned it in Germany. Now, this may change if the EU Commission follows through on these recommendations, T-Online warned. Yes, look at this. On over the left-hand side with this lady here. EU states using totalitarian methods to spy on journalists. Member of the European Parliament. Unbelievable. The document reportedly not surprising, but unbelievable. The document reportedly justified the proposed mass surveillance approach with the need to ensure effective prosecution of cases related to organised crime and terrorism activities, and in particular to identify terrorist attack plots in an early stage. Again, I've said this before in countless videos. They will put the good stuff at the top in the headline like a news article, but nobody reads what's down the bottom at the bottom of this what do you call it, set of rules or laws or something, right? You see exactly the same thing, right? Everywhere. Okay? Who says what a terrorism is? Who are terrorism persons in terrorism activities? They've just got to define you as a terrorist, and the next thing you know, you're caught up in it. Well, don't do anything terroristic. They'll redefine the meaning of the word terrorism, and you could be included. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, you have a look at what Spain did with its laws around violence towards women. I get it. Sexual violence towards women is wrong. But if you look down, a woman has to consent to sexual activity. I agree, 150% she does. A lady has to agree. But they were doing things like, if you go and look this up, seriously, this Spanish law says that it's perfectly acceptable for a 50-year-old man to engage in sexual activity with a 14-year-old girl as long as she consents. And the moment, a reporter says, well, hang on, that doesn't sound right to me, the minister, she jumps down the reporter's throat and says, you want women to be assaulted. No, I don't want women to be assaulted. Come on. I'm talking about the bit with the young woman and the middle-aged man. This is what we're seeing everywhere. I mean, the United States passed, what was it, a modified Article 9 in April, which comes into effect in August of this year, where they're talking about changing the Sex Discrimination Act to include sexual identity. Now, how you identify. Now, I have no issue with making sure men or women, women are protected, gay people, trans people are protected under this act, but identifying as something? So a guy like me can literally walk into a woman's changing room or a woman's toilet and be, nefariously voyeurizing on young women or any woman or little girls who are in going to the toilet. And if anyone complains about it, I'm sorry, I identify as a woman. Holy God, that's insane. But David, you want women to be, you don't want women to be kept safe. I said, yes, I do. The top bit's great. Protect ladies, protect women, protect trans people who are genuine, protect gay people, protect this person, protect that person, but not the bloody pervert who just claims he's one of these protected, identifying people. It's just insane. And this is the same thing. They'll change the meaning of terrorism and make you a terrorist because you disagree with the EU on this. You could disagree with the EU on this on social media, and then they'll say, well, you're a thought criminal or something. It's fascinating. A digital expert, Anya Herschel, who is also a member of the German Pirate Party, advocating digital privacy rights, warned that such plans represent an unprecedented leap into a fully monitored society. Everything we do, where we go, and who we communicate with will be visible at any moment and without any barriers, she told T-Online. Brussels has not commented on the report about the draft surveillance recommendations. Now, last year, a Dutch MP, Sophie in 't Veld, already warned that EU governments were using totalitarian methods to spy on journalists. Thusly, this story up here with the lady, this would be Sophie. She's a Dutch member of the European Parliament. EU states totalitarian methods to spy on journalists. She was commenting on allegations that some EU nations were using the Israeli Pegasus malware to surveil an editor of an EU-based Russian news website. Well, they go, oh, he's Russian and Pooty Poots is bad. So you really think that doesn't mean they're going to be spying on other people if they could use it for this? It's not set up just to spy on Russians. It's set to spy on anybody. It's absolutely fascinating. This is just very, very scary to me. And the more I see, the more I don't like it. It's absolutely fascinating, isn't it? And I don't understand how people can't see through this stuff. As I say, you read a headline and it says, this person is bad, they did something wrong, according to, unnamed sources. Oh my goodness, that person must be absolutely horrendous. They're disgusting. And then you read further down the paragraph where nobody bothers to get to, it says, we tried to contact our unnamed source for further verification, but unfortunately they were unavailable on the day. Where's your evidence? You see an online article. Where's your evidence? They say, this person alleges this and this person alleges that, but we were unable to confirm it. But that's always down the bottom of the article. You know what I'm trying to say? Nobody ever gets that far. So they just assume the headline's real. Fascinates me. Absolutely fascinates me. All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. I shall see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. If you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care. And as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
my brain hurts.